Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the answers to my Q&A, aka Q&A answers video. Now, I'm going to try and not to be too planned and answer the questions as best I can without too much thinking power, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and be a bit more freestyle and take you guys' advice. But I want to thank you all for asking the questions. I want to thank you all for your support. I was at 700 subscribers at the start of the week, but I've kind of dipped by 2. But I'm around about that 700 subscriber mark, which was a big goal for me, one I'm really excited about. Obviously, you guys would have seen that I'm doing another read along, so that's something future to come up with. We've got a few more things coming up on the channel. I'm going to do a few more shelf tours. I might do some vlogging over the summer, maybe when things open up even more. I've got some shopping trips planned with Chris to some of our local towns, so I might do a little bit of vlogging there and show you some of the local towns, because I thought that might be fun. I may think about do another tag video. Me and Connor are going to plan a tag video to do, but that's kind of it's been a bit manic recently, so that's going to come up as well. So I've got a few exciting things that are going to come up on my channel, but I really want to say thank you all for your support. It's been incredible, and I couldn't be doing this without you. Yes, I've had 2 years. Let's see what the next 2 years are going to bring, because I think, guys, you're stuck with me now. I love this channel. Anyway, I'm not going to link the channels below because it's going to be a big load of work, and this is going to be a long video anyway, but I will obviously mention anyone that's given me a question. I will mention their name. Please check out their channels. All of the people that have done questions are lovely. Some of them aren't channels, some of them are just people that have commented. I've got their little names on there, so I better get on. But check out all the channels of the people that have asked me questions, because they're all lovely. So let's get on with it. I think I've got quite a few questions, and I don't know how long I'm going to answer on all of them. You know me, I'm a chatterbox. So the first question I've got it's in the order that they came up on my phone when I was trying to look through them. From Nada Cuckoo, what is your favourite literary adaptation, and what are your favourite period dramas in general? Well, my favourite literary adaptation has to be Jane Eyre, because I friggin' loved that adaptation, and I thought it was a brilliant work. It was one of my favourites ever. And my favourite period dramas have got to be Victorian period dramas, because I think they're really fascinating. Next one, which countries do you wish to visit in the future? Now, I don't know if I'll ever travel, because I haven't got my passport anyway, but I know there is one place that I dream of going to, and that will be Canada. If I ever have to pick anywhere in the world to go, it will be Canada. I would love also to go to France, to see Paris and some of the beautiful things around there. I've read lots and lots about France, and I would love to go there. On a different note, I would love to go back to Greece and some of the Greek islands, because that was somewhere I loved, and the culture there is amazing. So, and if I ever won the lottery, the biggest place I would love to go to would be Australia, because Chris has got some family there, and I dream of going there. It's one of the places I've always wanted. So yeah, I've got quite a few answers for that one. But yeah, Canada, if I had my way, the first place I would go, apart from France because it's nearest, would be Canada. That's me. Naomi, what are your buzzwords for Naomi from Naomi's Bookshelves? Sorry, I've just thought of the name, I didn't write it down. What are your buzzwords for picking up books? Obviously, history, because I love history. Family and friendships. Any books on those subjects, I love. So they're my buzzwords. The next one's from Awkward Coffee Bean. What character from a book did you identify most with that made you finally feel seen? Now, I had a thought about that. I was talking to my sister about this, and now the old me, before kids, when I was a child, would have gone for Anne from Anne of Green Gables, because I loved her. She was the dreamy child side of me. But having a think about it, and I really thought about this, and it would be the Mummy in the Why Mummy series. Now, I've read the whole series. My kids are at the stage at the moment where at the early days of the Why Mummy series, but oh my goodness, I related to this. I related to her struggling with her identity, wanting to have a drink, wanting to swear, and I loved the fact that it was the first time I'd ever read a book where a mummy was real, and having real struggles, real battles in the relationships, real battles with wanting to work, wanting to have an identity, not knowing your place, struggling, and showing that motherhood isn't all a bed of roses. Now, I love being a mum. You know I do. My kids are my world, and obviously so I've got lots of questions about them. But it's not always a bed of roses. They don't sleep. They don't have you on the go. Your hours are literally, from my son wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Luckily now he doesn't wake me up, but he's awake from 5 till 7. My daughter is awake from like 8 till 8. So my hours, roughly, as a mum, start from anything from 7 o'clock in the morning or 6, depending if it's a school day, till by the time she's gone to bed about 8:30, and it's non-stop. And over lockdown, it killed me even more. But that's why I loved the Why Mummy series, because it really brought motherhood to a real on level. The next one is from Bobby Sue Davis. What's your favourite American classic and author? Now, I am going to be honest, I do not know any American. I don't know if I've got any American classics. Now, I know my Canadian classics, and that would obviously be the Anne of Green Gables series and Ellen Montgomery. Thoroughly love her work, but I haven't read enough American classics. Please, in the comments below, let me know some good American classics that I need to look for. I'm actually starting, when this goes live, I probably would have read Ethan Frome, and that would be potentially a good one. So I'm looking forward to Edith Wharton, so I'm hoping she's going to be my one, but I haven't read it yet at the time of filming this. Sorry. Now, Connor from Connor's Library Corner, who is someone I am, like I said earlier, glad to call a friend. A lovely young, he's absolutely funny. He makes me crack up laughing, and he's given me quite a few questions, because that's typical Connor. He doesn't do things by halves, and I'm going to answer them the best I can. Check his channel out. He needs more subscribers, by the way, because I think he deserves the best. Is there a hyped book you think you never would want to read? Now, obviously, I've got some of the fantasy ones, like the other Sarah J. Maas books, like Crescent City and all those ones, which I don't think I'm ever going to get round to, because although I love fantasy, I don't know if I ever want to try that much fantasy. But the other one is Know My Name by Chantel Miller. It is a book that's very hyped up. It's very hard-hitting. But if I am going to be completely honest with you, I think it would be too hard-hitting for me. It tackles a girl who's raped, and she has to really fight to get the battle for her name and to get the prosecution happening. For me, I think it's just that bit too hard-hitting. Maybe sometime I will be able to try it, but right now my mental health is not strong enough that I would be able to handle that. So if I'm being honest, I don't think I could ever try that, because I just think it would be too upsetting for me. Number 2, is there a book that you've read that you thought you would hate and end up loving? Julie from The Hungry Bookworm gave me the ACOTAR, the first 3 books in the ACOTAR series, 2 years ago. She thought I would love them, and I was like, no, I'm not going to like them. I'm going to try them just because you said you gave me them. She gave me beautiful hardbacks, which I've since given to Chloe, and I thought I would love them, and then I didn't think I would like them. I thought, oh my god, this is too high fantasy, not for me, not my kind of style, and I blooming loved him. I loved the second one. I cannot say which one the second one is, because I think it's the Court of Wings and Ruin, but I never get them right in the order. Connor, you can correct me on this. But the second one in the series is one I knew. Once I'd read the first, which was good, I knew that I would like the second. The second was the best. It was like friggin' amazing, and that exceeded my expectations. So I will say that series was something I didn't think I would like, but I ended up loving. The next one, what has been your favourite memory over the last year? Now, I don't know whether you want to say booktube memory or like memory in general, because obviously, in all honesty, this has been one of the hardest years ever. Like I said, never do one answer, do I? So the first one with happy memory in my life and booktube is meeting Gemma from Read a Book Gem and discovering that we live not very far from each other. She has become a genuine friend. Like, oh my goodness, we see each other. It's broken my heart. I haven't seen her since the start of December, and we're meeting up in a few weeks. Oh, actually, when this comes up around about that time, I think. Never get my dates right, but that was amazing. Meeting Chloe from Chloe Reads Books, that was lovely as well. She's another sweetie pie. So those were like 2 of the booktube things, and I've also done, like, there'll be a bit more about this in later, but like I've created I did a read along with Gemma. Me and Gemma hosted our own readathon, which was amazing. On a personal note, although the last year was ridiculously hard, teaching my kids was hard, being in lockdown was hard, the positive side to come out of this is I feel a darn sight closer to my children. Yes, obviously they're my kids and I love them, but I've gotten to know them as people, and I've certainly developed a very close bond with my daughter. Running through Bluebell Woods, being able to, because my operation as well, it's another positive thing, being able to run with them in the fields, being able to do silly things with them and making memories with them, and we've made some hell of a great load of memories, so that's been incredible. What was it? The next one is, what was it that made you want to start your own channel? Several people have answered me this, so I'm going to link back to this first answer. And that is, my sister Charlie from Charlie Brooke had a channel 2 years ago. She since decided to bloody leave, typical her. And she knew that I love books, and when I started rereading again and becoming properly into my books, I started on Goodreads, then went to Instagram, then had a vlog for a bit, which didn't hit off. I don't know if I'll go back to that at some point. And she said to start my own channel. She thought I would be great at doing this. I didn't think I would. And look where it's led me. Julie from Hungry Bookworm was another one that got me into this. And yeah, look where I am now, 2 years on, around about 700 subscribers. Happier than I've ever been on here. And lots of lovely friends. So yes, it was down to them that I started, and I don't regret it by 1 millimetre. The next set of questions are from Gaia Athena. Now, she's another genuine friend, another sweetie pie, someone that I thoroughly am glad to call my friend. She doesn't have many subscribers because she is her, and she is sweet, and she is honest, and she writes lovely long comments in all my videos. I can't always reply long comments because I've got stacks to do and I'm like a little bee buzzing around all the time, and I wish I could comment more back, but I love her comments. I love her support. She's amazing. Let me answer her questions. So she's given me some good ones here. What are your top contemporary authors, and what are several authors that you've read more than 4 books by? So here we go. Obviously the first one, contemporary, is page 2. She actually follows me on Instagram. How cool is that? I love her. So can't wait for her book to come out. She is one book author that I will automatically buy every single one of her books. I will either pre-order them or order them on the day that they come out. And I'm trying to be good actually on Amazon at the moment, not pre-order books and not buy books as soon as they come out, because I won't read them straight away. Learned that lesson from last year. But I'm getting it day one. I may even pre-order it. I may just get it on the date, but I'm getting that ASAP. Love her work. She is amazing. She links characters from her different books in amongst themselves. So when you're reading even her new books, you're like trying to find books from her other books, and oh, it's just exciting and amazing. And her last book, I can't remember the name of it, but it was amazing and had an optometrist and an opticians in it, which made obviously my job, and thoroughly loved it. It was one of my best ones she's ever written. So yeah, obviously her. The next one's a good old staple who's been on here a long time, Jenny Colgan. Thoroughly love her books. Loving reading her modern ones. Again, she's now linking books into each other. She has a series of books. I want to reread some of her earlier books. I'm loving seeing her develop from her earlier books to her more modern ones, and seeing how she's changed, and boy has she changed. They've just got better and better. She's amazing. The next one's a good old Sophie Kinsella, who I love. She's very exciting, very thoroughly good contemporary work that makes you smile. And then the last one's a new one who's got 3 books. I've only read 2, but I thoroughly love those 2, and that's Beth O'Leary. I've been told The Road Trip is amazing. It is killing me not to know whether to wait for it to come out in paperback or whether to say sod it and spend a bit more money and buy a hardback book. What do you think I should do, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Should I just go out and get it? Because I loved the flat share and the switch so much. Next one from Gaia is, how are my children doing? They're doing well. They're loving being back at school. They are loving being with their friends. They've just had their school reports and they're doing amazingly. Thomas has gone from having a few struggles because of his speech and language to now exceeding in all the subjects, to be doing really well, and I am super proud of them both. They're both happy. Mia's got her birthday coming up around about this time this video comes up, and yeah, brilliant. They're lovely. The next one is, favourite meal that you ate in the past while? Now, I love cooking. That'll link into another question coming up soon. But my favourite meal was a meal that I got sent by Feastfox UK for a read-along, and that was beef crapper. Check them out. Go onto my Instagram account. I've done a post where I've linked them, but Feastfox UK said, I'm not sponsored for saying this, I was doing a read-along, they offered me to do a cook-along, did it, thoroughly loved it. Brilliant Thai meal, loved it. I also got to cook it with Chris, which made it even more special. Next one is, what do you most like about making booktube videos, and what do you like least? This is another one that there'll be several people that have asked this question. I love talking to my subscribers in the comments. Love comments, love replying, love seeing what people think of it. On the struggling side, it's struggling to think of original content. So mixing in my tag videos, the standard videos, so like the wrap-ups, the TBRs, the book hauls, and mixing it all in so it all kind of gets a bit of a blend. So you've got some original content, some staple content, and some tags. And I try and mix it all up. And I hope I do a good job of it. But sometimes that can get a bit flappy, and I have to jig it. The amount of times I rejig my organiser, it's unbelievable. The next one is, it's the last one from her. Which videos have you made over the last 2 years that you're most proud of and are your favourites that you've made? Now, obviously, my friend's tag video, my first tag video that I made was amazing. I thoroughly, thoroughly loved it. It was so much fun to create. I literally could not believe the amount of good comments and good feedback I got on that. So that was obviously one of them. The anti-TBR tag, you know, this comes up in every time. It's the first time I got to show my little devil side, and that was really good fun. But on a personal note, I think it was doing the chronic pain and invisible disabilities video, because even though I've done ones on mental health, and I've done ones on anxiety, and I've done ones on my disabilities, I think the chronic pain one really stood out for me because it's what I've been going through for a very long time. It's what I live with and will continue to live with. But it's one that's not talked about. Mental health is getting talked about more now. Physical disabilities, I'm fighting to get talked about more, and that's something that I will continue to work on with my channel. But invisible disabilities and chronic pain is not spoken about enough. And I've actually discovered that quite a few friends have got this, and it's something we live with and something that I want to support all fellow sufferers with. So that video was hard to make, but it was because it was so raw, but it actually had quite good feedback. Now, these next ones are from Angela405. What prompts you to DNF a book? Basically, if I get it under less than 50 pages in and I either hate it because it says something offensive, or I'm just bored and there is not that connection with the book. I need to have a connection with the character or a connection with something to make me DNF it. Also, I won't DNF if I've got a buddy read. If it's a buddy read, I won't DNF buddy reads. And I won't DNF books like for my TBR jar very often. But if the book looks long and yet I'm not connecting with it, I will DNF it. The next one's really good. I love this one. This one was quite an interesting one. If you could have a character pop out of a book for the evening and have dinner with, who would you pick and why? So, another one where I was talking to my sister Charlie about this. My gut reaction, being the naughty, saucy, rude side of me, was Gray from A Curse of Dark and Lonely, because he is like the sexiest male character that I've ever read. I am very visual with my characters. I imagine what they look like, imagine what they're like, and there's something about Gray. Oh, I love him. I want to be with him. If he could pop out of a book and come and live with me, you know, if I could just have him and Chris, that would be really perfect. But so yeah, on a date, if it was a date, I would pick Gray. Now, I did have another answer, but I've changed that answer. So Charlie, I'm going to confuse you now. And I decided that I would like to meet Jane Eyre from, obviously, Jane Eyre, because that is one of my favourite books of all time. And I want to talk to her about all her battles and how she stayed strong. I want to know how it kind of worked out with her man in the end and Mr. Rochester, and did it all work out, and did they have the happiness, and how she found strength. And I'd love to talk to her about what life was like when she was living, and how she fought against her cousins, and just find out a bit more about her and just talk to her, because she was a character I've loved. She's one. If I had an author, I would pick Anne Bronte, believe it or not. But yeah, well, no, that's not a character. So the next one is, what's your favourite pizza topping? I couldn't think of this one very easily because when we buy pizzas as a family, we have one for the kids and one for me and Chris. And Chris doesn't like one of my favourite toppings, which is pineapple. But you can only find pineapple tends to be on Hawaiian pizzas in here. But I would love it more because I love that. But I also love, on the other side, the pepperoni or like spices, chilies or like red peppers. Actually, red peppers actually strangely, I don't know why. But yeah, so again, I don't just do one answer. It's up for you. Now I've gone on to my next notebook and we're already on 20 minutes and I've still got a few more questions to ask. The next one is from Connor's Stompanado. What is the most fun and least fun part of making videos for you? Again, I've just previously answered that. To me, I love to actually on the making videos, I love doing book hauls and I love talking to you about the books that I really love. I love talking to you about books that I'm passionate about things that I want to do on booktube, about things I get excited about. If I'm passionate or excited about something, I love talking about that on my channel. What I like talking about least is when I have a book that's negative and I have to try and give a negative response because I don't like being negative. Like I said, I don't like being down or depressed or whatever else. So I find that quite hard. So that if I have to give a review on something that I don't like, I don't know how to word it. Or if I've got something that I'm upset about, trying to word it is quite difficult because I don't want to say the wrong thing and offend anyone. I'm always worried about offending people. So that's it. Now, the next one is from Middle of the Book March. I cannot remember her actual name, but sorry about that. And this one is, are there aspects of creating videos that you haven't liked or things you've struggled with? Now, I've struggled with, because I only have my phone to do all my editing and things like that on. So because of that, I've struggled to find apps that would help me do vlogs and do editing and things like that. I have found an app that's working at the moment so I can do shorter vlogs, but I do find doing vlogs hard. I find the fact that I want to add like music in, I want to add things in, and I want to be more creative, and I'm struggling to do that with the fact not paying for apps and stuff and editing apps and not having a computer and things. So I think that's things that I find quite hard. The next one's a lovely personal question, and this is from Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery. And this is, how did you choose your children's names? This is quite a personal one. Mia, her actual full name is Amelia Jane. Amelia is my partner Chris, he chose that. And that was because at the time of Mia's birth, there was a character on X Factor called Amelia, from Amelia Lily. I like the name Lily, but we couldn't call her Lily because Chris's last name is Hill. So Lily Hill, there's a park around us near us called Lily Hill Park. We didn't want to connect that. And trying to pick names to go with his surname is a bloody nightmare. But yeah, so he liked the name Amelia. I didn't like the name. I like it. It's all right. Don't get me wrong. I love my daughter and I love her name now, but it wasn't one that struck out at me. And originally we were going to shorten it down to Millie. But when she was born, there was no way she looked like a Millie. And my mum picked Mia. And if you guys know, this film called The Princess Diaries, which has Anne Hathaway in it, and this is a very old film. And there's a girl called Princess Mia. And Mia looked like a Mia. So that's how it got shortened to Mia. My mum, that's down to my mum. And her middle name is Jane, which is my middle name. It's my aunt's one of my dad's sister's first name. My other aunt has got her middle name. My cousin's got the Jane as the middle name. And it's kind of a family thing. So that's how that came out. I got to pick her second name. Now with Thomas, it was the other way round. I got to pick his first name. Chris got to pick his second name. And I couldn't pick for the life of me for a long time with Thomas. His name wasn't chosen. We had Leo. We had loads of other little names that were bouncing around. And then we decided on my mum's maiden name, which is Thomas. I've got the Thomas family. And to me, my mum's maiden name and my mum's family name, being Thomas, shows the strength of my family. My mum's brothers and sisters are all amazingly strong. My nan was amazingly strong. My granddad was the best. They were the best. They are the best family ever. And I said I wasn't going to cry. But I wanted to hold that dear to me. I wanted my son to be strong. I knew that he was my rainbow baby anyway. I wanted him to have a strength in him and have the core of him that to know that what's right and wrong, and that strength, that determination, that grit that they have in their family. I wanted to come through to him. So, and we never shorten it to Tom. He is Thomas, and he always will be Thomas at the moment, anyway. And his middle name is Thomas Jack, but he doesn't like his middle name Jack. But Jack was, I don't know where that came from. Chris and me, it was my mum's dog's name. Before she moved over here, she had a dog called Jack, and we loved the name. So I think that was kind of how that happened. But yeah, that's his name. God, this is a long video. Now we got from reading with Katie. What made you start a booktube channel? Already said that. That's down to my sister and Julie talking about the love of books, and they thought I would be perfect at that. What lessons have you learnt from your 2 years on booktube? To me, the key one is to be true to myself, not to try and be something that I think everyone I should be. Yes, I need to be tactful. Yes, I need to think about my words very carefully, but still it's okay to be true to me, because you guys, if you're gonna like me, you're gonna stick around, and I've made some genuine friends out of that, and I've learnt that just have fun and really make it fun, because that's what you guys like. You like me being silly and mad and crazy and happy and chatterboxy, and you like seeing the real me. So that's something good. It's not about, I shouldn't be worried about my content being perfect or everything, because then that wouldn't be me. I'm not perfect. So it's being true to myself and making videos where I get to show you me and what things that I love doing. So what are your favourite types of videos to film? I already answered that as well. It's hauls, wrap-ups where I talk about the books, exciting videos. I'm liking now filming more chatty videos, so I want to do a few more of them. What's the best book you've read in 2021 so far? And that's actually given me a video idea that's going to come up in June, where I'm going to talk about the best top 10 books of the year so far. But I think Get a Life, Chloe Brown has to be my favourite. I love the chronic pain rep. I love the plus size woman rep. I love her as a character. I love the fact it's got a bit of raunch in it, a bit of sauce. The sisters are in it, which I love. Brilliant. My best book of the year so far. Number 5, do you have any other hobbies? And if so, what are they? I love cooking. Love, love, love cooking. If I had more time, I'd do it more. And I also love walking. Walking goes back to my dad. It's something we used to always do as growing up. Still love it. And then Mary from Happy Lever Ash. What is your favourite physical place? Well, in my house, my cosy chair that's over there. I love sitting and cozying up. My blankets with my drinks, with my books. Outside of Bracknell, there is a place called Weston-super-Mare in the UK, which is the town where Mia was conceived, and it's a beautiful seaside town. It's got a lot of happy memories there, and it's somewhere that I absolutely thoroughly love. Number 2, what is your favourite book that you've read because of booktube that you would never have picked up without on your own? And I think actually that's The Binding by Bridget Collins. Now I know now she's got some problematic issues, and there's some things happening that she said, and it's not down to me to go through that, but that book I loved. I didn't like her next one, which has really annoyed me, but I loved The Binding. But it was very fantasy, very different, not what I would have expected, but I ended up really loving it. So that. Now the next ones are chatty ones, and they're from Emily Kate Rudolph. How do you read so much? Well, basically I don't watch TV. Because of my chronic pain, I have to rest regularly. Apart from housework, being a mum, and I'm a speed reader. Oh, that's another thing. I'm a speed reader. If obviously I love a book, I will go into it. But if I'm not enjoying it, I can kind of skim read. And I'm quite a speed reader. But I don't watch TV. I don't socialise very much because of lockdown. Obviously, I've socialised even less. But yeah, that's my thing. How many hours a day do you read? In all honesty, I can't think. I think it was that we worked out when I spoke to Charlie from Charlie Heathcote about that. Booktube Charlie about that. I think it's like 4 to 5 hours a day minimum. I read in the evenings, so between 7 and 10. So that's 3 hours definitely then. 2.5 hours because I've got to put me into bed. So actually, God, 2.5 hours then. About an hour after school, 3.5. Maybe between 5 and 6, maybe more. I don't know. It's not a typical. And what's your reading routine? Well, when the kids are at school, I don't read till about 10 o'clock probably. Maybe a little bit at 9 o'clock if I'm tired from the school run. But I come back, I do some housework, do a bit of reading, then do some more housework, do a bit of reading, do lunch, do a bit of reading, and then do another housework and do a bit of reading, pick them up. So I literally read in amongst all my other million jobs that I do. Then from the lovely Gemma from Read a Book Gem, who is one of the best people ever. What is your go-to comfort read book? And I could have said A Curse, but I've gone with Matilda by Roald Dahl. That is my book that I will pick up 1,000,001 times because I thoroughly love it. It is my go-to book where I laugh and I go into a different world. So that's it. And then what is your favourite TV to movie adaptation of a book? And I've actually gone with something different. Chloe, you're going to like this. P.S. I Love You. I loved the film. I thought I loved the book. I could have gone with like so many other answers, but I only watched the film last year and I thoroughly loved it. It was the best. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It gave me all of the emotions. Loved it. And then lastly, Ange from Angie's Book Chatter. Has your booktube channel influenced Chris and the children to read? Yes, I think so. Chris doesn't read. He's not a reader. That's not who he like. He just doesn't enjoy it. He's more into sports and snooker and stuff. But Mia and Thomas read even more. Mia reads lots of books that I've recommended because of the channel. And Thomas is actually into reading. Even though he's only 6, he loves reading. His teachers have said that. He reads to himself now. I normally turn his bedroom light off and he'll turn it on again and read his Paddington books. And he's a really great reader. And I encourage reading. We have both children have stacks of books. So it's quite a nice prompt to end this on. Anyway, if you've got any more questions, you can always ask me in the comments below. Hope you've liked this videos. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you all. Bye-bye.